Talk. I'm your host, Lego Toon, alongside my co-host, Lego Design, Super Sub Design.
What up, what up?
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Nation Talks. I want to thank you guys so much for all the support on the last episode we had. The views are crazy, the support is crazy. Thank you guys so much for that. So we're going to keep going. Today we have another guest, but before we get into that, I just want you guys to know that if you have any comments or suggestions, just leave it in the comments down below. Tweet it at me, at Lego_Toon, or at Lego Design? That's your Twitter, right?
Yeah.
At Lego Design? Yeah, Space Design, okay. So we got another guest on the show today. He goes by the name of Buddha. Say hello, Buddha.
What up?
What up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad.
That's good to hear from you, man. I know I talked to you a little bit on Twitter. I haven't really talked to you too much. I don't know a whole bunch about you, so we're going to get to know you a little bit so everyone else can get to know you a little bit more as well. Alright, so you guys, if you notice, you can find him at Buddha is his Twitter. I'm pretty sure Buddha YT is his Twitter. His YouTube page is Buddha Space YT. You can find him on there. All this will be popping up on the screen for you right now. And he is the sniping leader for Slate Gaming. That's his organization. You can find them at Slate Gaming. So you can go check them out. Just remember, everything will be on the screen and in the description below, so you can go and look at all of them. Go follow them, show them support. Tell them that the Lego motherfucking Nation sent you. Alright, Buddha, so I got a question for you. The first one's going to be, how did you start gaming? It's a basic question I ask anyone here.
Alright, well, it started when I was like 6 years old. My dad got the first Xbox, the very first one, and I didn't really was allowed to play it because he had Halo, and I was like, super violent for a kid, right?
Yeah.
And so, obviously, parents go to work or something, I'm at home with my older brother, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna pop on some Halo, right? And that was like the first game I legit grinded out, and I got really good at it. Ended up beating my dad because he was like, "Oh hey, you should play sometime." I was like, "All right," and I beat him. He's like, "How the hell do you know how to do this?" So I was like, "Oh well." I was kind of sneaking on every now and again, but
He's like, you little shit.
he's like, "Yeah, you beat me. You're grounded." I'm like, "Well, I'm just gonna stand still. I'm gonna go get a drink. You can kill me. That's fine."
So, basically, you say your career started basically in Halo 1 then, right?
Yeah, the very first Halo, Combat Evolved.
Just playing, just as a pub star, basically. Well, not really a pub star, we'll call you just a regular community player.
Yeah, because all I used to really play was, I just played the campaign over and over again. Because we didn't have Xbox Live until I got the 360 years
Dude,
later.
that's kind of weird, because when I had the original Xbox, that's all I did, too, is play Combat Evolved by myself on the campaign. That's fucking weird, bro.
Alright, Design, you got any questions for him, man? We'll move on down the list here.
Oh, you say you're a sniper, so I was wondering, when did you, first learn to start, quick scoping and sniping real well?
Well, I was in, it was Modern Warfare 3 days. That was, the first Call of Duty I really got into. And I had no idea, I was not good at video games whatsoever. And my friend was like, "Hey, try this, we'll play together or whatever." I'm like, "Alright, sure." And I started sniping, and I was just absolute sauce. I was terrible. I get a quick scope. I'm like, "Dude, guys, I got a quick scope. I got one," I was so stoked. But that's where I started. I was just absolute trash. But that's where I got my start. I met some cool people throughout the way. Yeah, props to Modern Warfare 3, man.
Alright, well,
That's pretty cool.
There you go. So, would you say Modern Warfare 3 was your favorite game, or that leads into my next question? What is your favorite game?
Favorite game would have to be Halo 2.
Halo 2?
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a nice game. Good game.
That was...
You have a reason why?
It was real balanced, especially when I played online. I'd play against people that were as good as me. I'm not getting totally thrashed all the time. That was not good at all. So that was cool to play. I would say Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is a close second, but I gotta go to the OG Halo, man. That's where I got my start.
Oh yeah.
Okay, nice. So, outside of gaming, what is a hobby of yours that you would say your top 2 list?
Top 2, man. I play baseball and watch football, so I guess.
Baseball and football. Alright, well there you go.
Hey, what position you play in baseball?
First base, third base, and catcher.
Oh, nice.
Hey, so you're like a baseball whore then, basically.
I'm a big white guy, so I don't really play the speedy position, so I just stand still. That's all I do, man.
Put me on a base, coach. I got it. I played a little bit of baseball in high school myself, man. So I know what you're talking about there. I started pitching and that was it because I'm a bigger myself, but I could throw. All right, so I mean now you guys got to know. Now, if I'm correct, are you in high school or are you in college?
I am currently a freshman in college.
You're currently a freshman, and you're 17 years old.
I'm 18. I just turned 18.
Okay, you just turned 18.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a freshman in college. So what college? Oh, I don't want to worry about that. I don't want to put all that information out there.
Yeah, Jesus.
We'll skip that. Okay, so we're going to jump into the topic. So now you guys know a little bit about the Buddha himself. So we're going to get into the topic today. And today's topic is a little bit different than what we have been doing. This topic is basically going to be about, does some games never age? Okay, so that's the question. So I'll give you an example, and then we'll get into discussing it with people, with our guest and also my co-host. So a game that doesn't really age for me would have to be like Super Mario World, for example. Like, the game's been out for years, right? And it keeps coming back. They re-evolve it. The gameplay itself and the movement itself feels fantastic. It feels like a new game. And I would go as far as saying it stood the test of time. Okay? And then there's some games that just dies after their glory years, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get your input on it and tell me how you feel about it, and then we'll bring up different topics on that.
All right. Well, the thing is, though, like games that never die are, like you brought up Super Mario World, how they keep like remaking it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also games that don't die that they've never remade that people still like grind the shit out of today. Like I could still go on and play Pac-Man for hours, and that's just going around in a square. Like that's a game that never died, but they never had to remake it because it's the same game. Like stuff like that. And then Super Mario Brothers, again, another Nintendo series, another game that never died that people still play. More recent would be like the Smash Brothers Brawl kind of thing.
Yeah.
That game's been out for years, and people still play in tournaments and stuff like that. And that's a game that's never died at all.
Yeah.
That scene is still super alive and stuff.
So do you think they should never retouch that game, or you think that they could always help out and grow, or not really necessarily grow, but better that game for the newer generations, or do you think it should just be always left alone?
Well, I mean, there's always room for improvement, so they should always be able to think like, oh, this could fix the game, this could fix the game kind of thing. But the same ideal concept of the game should never be diminished or destroyed by any means.
Okay, so let me throw a couple names at you. I don't know if you ever played this before, okay? You may not have played some of these games. Some of the games that I've personally played, and I think that were good back in the day, not necessarily great now, okay? So one of them being Mortal Kombat. It used to be a real great game, to me anyways. Tomb Raider, Diddy Kong Racing, it's an old game. I don't know if many people know about it. And like Resident Evil 1, the first one, and Call of Duty. Honestly, and I'll give you my opinion on that. Like I said, I don't know if you played these games because I'm a 90s kid, so it's some of the games that I played.
Hashtag 90s kid.
Yeah, hashtag. And it's just that's some of the games that I feel like were good when they came out, and maybe for the year long, maybe two, maybe in a couple of years. Like Diddy Kong Racing was good for me for fucking 3 years. I played the shit out of that. But those are the type of games that Sega Genesis or 64 or even the original Xbox. Some of those games, like, I don't think should ever be touched for the simple fact, like, you brought up the fact that you can always use room for improvement. I do agree with that to a certain extent. But games such as, like, Pac-Man, for example, like, you said there's always room for improvement. I agree, they could add levels to it. They could add more different obstacles to it. That would be cool, but it wouldn't be the same as the original. I don't think it would have the biggest outcome as the original Pac-Man did back in the day when it was released. So that's some of the games that I feel should never be touched. I mean, design or, Buddha, I mean, do you have any specific games, or do you want to touch on any of those games I talked about that you feel the same way about?
I did want to talk about Mortal Kombat a little bit.
That's okay. I want to talk about it too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, it's like, the original Mortal Kombat was that 2D type of thing. You have one guy on the right side, one guy on the left, and they fight each other, right?
Yeah.
And then that's a game they try to do too much with. Like, they made it all 3D, like an adventure type game, and then you fight in like a circle. And then they brought it back to its roots of, this game won't die. We just add in different players, different levels type of thing.
Yeah.
Like the new Mortal Kombat, not X, the one that came out last, I think was 9, right? That one stayed with the 2D perspective kind of thing, but it was still the newer graphics,
Yeah.
And that's what I liked, because I really liked. I never personally played like on the arcade type of thing, but I did have like an Atari thing, and it came with Mortal Kombat on it, like the original one. And I really enjoyed playing that. And then I tried one of the newer Mortal Kombat games that came out in like 2000, that era, and I was like, oh, this is trash, man. Like, don't try to fix something that isn't broken.
Exactly.
So that's just my thing. And then, whatever you want to talk about that. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, that's fine.
Good, bro. My thing on the Mortal Kombat is, you talking about it's just a little 2D, little 1v1, just like 2D. Well, I don't remember. I was on the PS2, or I think it was, but you said they added that circle, and I like that. I like that they did that because you can be more agile and dodge better, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that idea. I like that they put that in there. Yeah. But then I just watched a trailer for the new one coming out. I don't know when it comes out, but that one seems like it has more of the 2D perspective, like you were talking about, like just one way. I don't know if you saw a trailer for that or not.
Yeah, I did. The Mortal Kombat X. That looks insane.
Yeah, it seemed to have that like perspective that you want.
Yeah, I saw a review for it by Screw Attack, I think, and they broke down the entire thing, and they brought up how they brought in so many different things from the older games. So if you want to check that out, that's freaking insane. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I can definitely go check that out yourself if you're into that type of game. Now, going back to a big community, especially the Buddha design and myself are in, is the COD community. Now, a lot of people, I get a lot of hate for this, and I get a lot of people who actually understand what I'm trying to say when I say this. Okay, the original Call of Duties, I think, are much, much, much better games than AW, Ghost, and I'll stay a little bit back into Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was a pretty good game because that's one of the games that has still not died. 2 years down the road, has been grinded the hell out of. People still love to watch that on YouTube compared to AW or Ghost. That is the game on YouTube to watch. I mean, mainly most of the pro players are putting AW up because that's their life and that's how they make
that's
their
what
living.
they have to do.
So that's the only reason why that game gets any recognition. In my opinion, Sledgehammer did a complete shit job on that game, and I'll say that freely. Give me this is what it is to me.
You're not wrong. So.
They had too long to work on that game for it to be the way it is. Now, granted, I do play it on 360, but I also have played it on the One for many, many hours. Thanks to my friend. Shout out to you. You know who you are. And it's still, it feels better on the One. Yes, it does, but it's still the hit reg is definitely Black Ops 2-ish. They say dedicated servers, but I've migrated hosts 4 times since I've been on that game. Definitely a lot less than what I did on any other COD. I give them that. But it's not dedicated servers, and people who think they are, you're delusional. Because you don't migrate hosts on dedicated servers. Just saying. I'll throw that out. Okay. So, but anyways, getting off track here. Okay. So, Call of Duty 4 is one of the biggest old school Call of Duties that get praises, right? I made my Call of Duty LAN tournament debut in COD 4, and I've won quite a bit of money from COD tournaments, from COD 4 to Black Ops 1, a little bit into Black Ops 2, and I love all those games. Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 was a good game, and the way that I feel about that is that COD 4 was good, yes. COD 4 is a good game, but a lot of people that don't play PC or never play PC will understand this, is that tick rate comes into effect on servers. Okay, so Advanced Warfare is running off a 30 tick server. So basically, your guys only refreshing. I'll put it to you. This is not the exact number, so don't kill me for it. So on a 30 tick rate, your guy is only refreshing in the game, let's say, 30 times per second. Okay. So when you run COD 4 running off a 64 tick server, your guy was refreshing 64 times a second, compared to 30. So in COD 4, you actually have to hit your target, and Black Ops 2 was really bad at this. People could hit shots that are stupid just because of that. Now, a lot of people don't understand what a tick rate is. That's why I say I'm not going to go too far into it, but it does take effect. So COD 4 was a good game. COD 4 has been surpassed. There's still some people that play it. I think last time I got on, there's 12,000 people playing it. So people still play it. But should they ever redo it? That's a subject that should be talked about in my eyes, because the fact that if they redid it, would they ruin the game? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I kind of rambled on there a little bit, but I wanted to get my point across in a certain way. So, I mean, you guys shoot at it and have at it. Let's see what you guys got to say about the COD.
All right, so you're saying about that, like you said, like 64 tick on COD 4, and then you said 36 for AW, right?
No, it's a 30. 30
oh, it's 30. Okay. Well, see, it's worse. So,
yeah, exactly. And they give you jetpacks and they lower the tick rate. It doesn't make sense.
So, like, with the jetpacks and shit, how fast the movement is, it's retarded of how, like, the hit reg is, dude. Like, I hate that game. I just can't stand it. You've seen me rage 1,000 times. I fucking get off Xbox because I hate it. But then I remember back in the day, COD 4, just sitting there, like, you hit your target. You can't hit them around a corner like you can on Black Ops 2 and Advanced Warfare. Like, it's just straight up, you're hitting them, or you're not, or around the corner. But, all right, I got off track too. But anyways, I think they should, I wish they would kind of, like, just like how they did with the Halo series, how they redid Combat Evolved. And I haven't played the remastered number 2, but I thought it was freaking kick-ass when they remastered it. It's just awesome to see what the graphics can do nowadays and back in the day. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they redid COD 4, just to see what they could do with it.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Okay. Well, when you brought up Halo, the main reason they redid, like Halo 2 and all that, was because back in the Halo 2 days was when Halo was at its peak when it comes to competitive play. And that was top notch right there. And then Halo just died off, and they wanted to just bring it back, revive the Halo scene. And that's why I think they redid all the games. But about the 30 tick kind of thing, from a business perspective, they're trying to cater towards the bad players, because there's more bad players than there are good players. And if they get more bad players to buy the game, they're making more money. So,
yeah, that's true.
From a business perspective, it's really smart. Then there's my perspective from, I consider myself maybe above average in the game, and it just pisses me off when I don't get a kill, or there's a kill on me that's really undeserved. That's why everybody really likes COD 4. That's really good at it. You don't see someone that's a shitstorm at Halo or Call of Duty go play COD 4 and say, oh, I love this game, because they can't kill anybody because they're not good at it.
Yeah.
The skill gap has just been diminished the more and more Call of Duties come out, so they get more product sales from the better players, Halo is a game that had a huge, massive skill gap between players. If I played a pro or something, I'm not getting a kill in a 1st to 15 free-for-all. I'm not doing that. Like, they will demolish me. That's one of the reasons I think Halo died out, is because they didn't have the bad players that were like, oh, I really like this game, I can actually get a few kills or whatever. A crappy kid can get a helicopter or whatever in any of the modern Call of Duties. But, no one's going to go on a 15 kill spree in Halo if you don't ground the shot.
Wow. It's not what you were saying, Buddha. I just realized I was streaming this as well as recording it. And, so I just had to end the stream. We're still recording, so that's a facepalm moment. Aries is...
I should have said that. I thought you did it on purpose, because my fucking iPad popped up, hey, Language Q Online. I thought you wanted to stream this. No, I did not want
to stream it, man. This is only for YouTube right now. Wow. It's okay. There were some opinions in the chat. People were going along with what we were doing. But sorry, guys, for on Twitch. You got to come here to watch it.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so anyway, sorry. I heard everything you said. I just got distracted by streaming.
Hey, no worries.
I am going to be streaming later, but I do not want to stream this.
So okay. I got something to say about that skill gap. How you say, like, for me, like, I'm really skilled at Black Ops, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare, COD 4, but as soon as I hop on Ghost and Advanced Warfare, I honestly fucking suck balls. I hate it. That's why Toon just laughs at me when I rage on Advanced Warfare. I don't know how to get kills.
That's true. If you watch my stream, you can see me getting absolutely pissed at Advanced Warfare, and I'm a good COD player. And not saying that you're not, excuse me, but what I'm saying is, I kind of go along with what Buddha's saying there, okay? Because look, when their trailer came out for their map pack, their first map pack coming out, right? It was so fucking funny to me how the people who made these maps, or people that work at Sledgehammer, were just like, there's a carousel in the middle of the map that you can lay down on and check all your corners. No, you should have said, there's a carousel in the middle of the map that you can camp on with your fucking team and kill anything that walks by you. That's what it should have said. I mean, they are catering to the more public side of the gaming community more than competitively. And what they don't understand is that the competitive scene, COD esports, is the only thing making their game sell right now. Because if you look at the sales, AW did worse than Ghost. Ghost did worse than Black Ops 2. I mean, come on. I mean, the sales... I'm sorry?
You're completely right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, they're thinking only short-term gain when it comes to the skill gap ratio and getting worse players to buy the game. Long-term, you get long-term people to keep buying your games is when you're going to keep a steady growth throughout the years of making a game. Like, I've had a lot of friends that played through COD 4, and, you know, they loved it and stuff, but then they got to Ghost and was like, I'm never buying another Call of Duty. This was a huge disappointment.
Exactly.
It was a big disappointment.
But that goes along with what... Okay, you know, that's going to be next week's topic. I don't want to get into that. But going to another part of it is that's what Microsoft and Sony are going to in their consoles. Look, for example, the Xbox One and the PS4 are mainly built for a family-oriented type of system. Like, they want you to be able to do everything you do with DVD players, with DVRs, computers. They want you to be able to do that from their system. They're not worried about the competitive aspect. And the point is, the competitive aspect is what built your company. The only reason why you have what you have is because COD Esports has blown up. Just completely blown up out of the water. And people pay to go see those events. People pay good money to go get a ticket to MLG Orlando, Dallas, you know, Columbus, Niagara, wherever they want to go. They pay money to go see that. They're playing it on your console, but yet you're more focused on the family side of things. Like, come on, get a grip, man.
I feel like they don't really understand how much esports has really catered to how big their companies have grown. Like, Microsoft already was a huge company before the Xbox, and then
exactly
the Xbox blew it up even more, which is mind-boggling. But
yeah, not saying that they're not a big company. No, I'm not saying that they couldn't have made it without the Xbox or without the COD community, because they could have, because they're already a big enough company. But I'm talking about console performance-wise. Is that the only reason you're able to do what you do in that how do you say it, that section of your company is because of competitive aspect, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right there, because, you know, without the competitive aspect, I doubt the Xbox One would even made a scene, right? Because there was no point in making a next-gen type of aspect, because everyone would have just stayed on Xbox 360 if we're all just public players.
Yeah, and a lot of people still are on 360. There's not as many people as they wanted to move over to the next generation, if you'd say.
But that's also money, though. That's also money.
The environment, yeah.
And that's also disappointment in other Call of Duties, because that's what really so many people played on the Xbox, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that goes into one of our topics that we had in our first episode of Nation Talk is, should the next Call of Duty be on all four consoles, the PS3, 360, One, and the 4? And that leads into the environment, which, like, Advanced Warfare was mainly priority made for the One, and they downgraded it for the 360. That's why it's so bad on the 360 compared to the One. And it was just sorry about Skype, guys. It's going off right now. Sorry. So I mean that's just the way I feel it. But Call of Duty, we're getting a little bit off topic here, but that's okay. That's what we do here on Nation Talk, so it doesn't really matter. So just swerve back a little bit to that. You know, will Call of Duty die eventually? And will it be one of those games that never die, or be one of those games that never age is a topic. So I mean, I personally think that Call of Duty will be around for a long time still, but they've got it. And people bring up the fact that, okay, hey, we want something new in Call of Duty. They gave us fucking jetpacks and it's horrible. Quit asking for new shit and play what you got, man. So
it's not even Call of Duty no more with the jetpacks. I hate it, man.
Yeah, it's not the greatest game. But Buddha, how do you feel about that in the Call of Duty aspect, since you come from the community as well?
Let's see here. When it comes to trying to do something new for the Call of Duty, I think that's a great idea. But I don't think there should have been more of a, because I know they have a playlist where there's no jetpacks or anything like that on Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
I think they should have catered the maps a lot more to, you can play this entire map and get anywhere without using a jetpack.
Yeah, I agree. Because the maps are so big, without the jetpack, it's almost impossible to do well.
Yeah, so then, the jetpack is cool when it comes to, if I have a bad shot, I can quickly dash and kill somebody, right, with a higher skill. But it also doesn't feel like a Call of Duty. It feels like a new game,
Now, I wouldn't mind the jetpack so much if they kept the tick rate up, if they had the servers better. I mean, they give you something to make you move around faster, and they lower how fast your player refreshes on the server. I mean, whose thought was behind that? Jesus, man.
Yeah, who was like, you know what? We have a 64 for COD 4. Let's bring that shit way down,
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, but
half of it, fuck it.
When you said COD, if it's gonna die or not. So, I think it won't die because of old Call of Duties. The way that they're going is no one is going to fucking care about the new Call of Duties. I've already lost hope about new Call of Duties, and I just love playing old ones like Black Ops 2. I've been playing Modern Warfare 2 all fucking day today. I love it. And COD, people are going to be on COD 4 probably for a lot longer still, and Black Ops, I think old Call of Duty is going to stay. I feel like it'll stay for a long time.
Okay, and I agree with you on that aspect, but now going to what you were saying, you lost hope. See, now I can't say that, because the only Infinity Ward game I've ever enjoyed was Call of Duty 4. And Modern Warfare 2 was okay. Modern Warfare 2 was okay. Now, I'm telling you this from the competitive aspect of it, because I played competitive, hardcore grinding, scrimming every day. I didn't really play too much pub, so I'm telling you from my competitive aspect of these games. The only Infinity Ward game I ever enjoyed was COD 4. So I never had high hopes for Infinity Ward. Modern Warfare 3, never touched the game. Played it for a week, and that was it. And that's maybe throughout the year. I played it for a week. I didn't play it a week straight, and then maybe a day here, half a day here, half a day here. Out of the whole year, I played it for about a week.
Yeah.
Hated it. Modern Warfare 2 was okay. There were some struggles in Modern Warfare 2 with one-man army and things like that that should have never been put in the game, but we're not even going to go into that. But, and then Sledgehammer being a new company, I didn't know what to think, Now, Treyarch has made some damn good games. So Treyarch is the next company to release a Call of Duty. I'm going to keep my respect for Call of Duty until the next Treyarch game. And if it's anything close to Black Ops 2, I will be satisfied.
Oh, hell yeah.
But if they move on to jetpacks and lowering the tick rates, I think I'm going to move on to something different. Maybe Counter-Strike or racing games. I don't know, man. We'll find out.
Yeah, I play racing games. What's wrong with that?
When you said about them not having the jetpacks in the next game, I feel like that'll be very hard for them not to implement into their game. Because we got, if you ever played the Halo 5 beta, that has the thruster pack as well that you could use. Obviously this new Call of Duty has a thruster pack, and it's every FPS is looking for that new way to dodge or get away, and I hope it doesn't do this, but I feel like it's changing the course of FPSs.
Well, yeah, you're right too, but then again, you also got to think of it this way, is that they can see how shitty the cells did and say, well, we need to stay away from that shit stuff. So
yeah, I honestly think that the Treyarch game is going to do very well in sales because so many people have respect for Treyarch, not necessarily for Call of Duty, but for the company Treyarch. They do a very good job every time.
They might not have very good pre-order sales, but once people get the game and if it is good, I think it overall it would do pretty well.
Yeah.
I have about the Advanced Warfare, like you're talking about Treyarch and stuff. It just brings to my mind zombies. Well, the DLC come out for Advanced Warfare. There's gonna be Exo Zombies. I mean, I'm excited to try it out, just see what it's like.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not because the jetpacks.
I do want to try it out, but it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, leave that to Treyarch. You know.
Yeah.
I can wait.
for real.
I can wait for a really good zombies, part in the new Treyarch game because it's going to be fantastic. I already know it.
I agree with you. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. We're going along 30 minutes here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up for you guys tonight.
It's been 30 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, time flies when you're talking about stuff that, people care about. But, hey, Buddha, I want to thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. Thank you for spending, 30 minutes of your life with us to just talk about games and, different things, man. We really do appreciate you coming on here, man. And also, remember, guys, Buddha, if I get this wrong, just let me know. Your Twitter is at BuddhaYT, correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
that voice crack, though.
Oh, yeah. His YouTube is Buddha space YT, and also you can find his organization is at ES Slate Gaming. You can go find them there. Everything will be in the description below, and it will be at the beginning of this video, so go back and look at it if you want to. And guys, and as always, we will see you guys in the next Nation Talk. As always, this is your boy LT, your host, along with my co-host Design, and with our special guest Buddha. All three of us are out. Peace.
Later.
See you.